Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Tatiana.
Thank you for agreeing to answer my questions.
Okay.
Okay, so please tell us when, why, and how did you get into Scientology?
Well, it was a bit of an accident. It was 1968, and I had a 4-year-old son, and I was finding it difficult being a mother of a 4-year-old, and I was in a bookstore and looking in the cooking book sections, and I found a book called Miracles for Breakfast, and it turned out to be about Scientology and how to raise children. And in the back of the book, it said, if you want to know more about the subject of Scientology, go visit the local org, and I followed up on it. And I sought them out, and I was hooked. Bought another book, and then another book, and 5 books later, they finally got me for the comm course.
Okay, so obviously you were gaining something out of it, right?
I was gaining something. The books of Hubbard really impressed me. He's brilliant, and it was what I needed.
Okay, how far did you get up the bridge? How far did you get?
I went very fast.
Okay.
From, that would be, basically I started in December '68, the comm course, and then by June of '73 I was a Class 4 auditor, doing all the internships and all the things in between that's required, student hat and all that, things like that. I was very taken with the subject, and I was a public. I did a year of staff, which was foundation staff, as a Dianetic course room supervisor for about a year.
Where was it?
In San Francisco,
oh,
the
okay.
San Francisco org, while I was still studying the levels. And that was very enjoyable. But other than that, I was mostly just public. I was paid for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I contributed by teaching the course for me and CSA.
Okay, you said 68, 70, so was it different at all by then? Do you know, I don't know when did you leave, but how was the atmosphere at the work when you came there?
Well, I was impressed with the people in the San Francisco org. They're very intelligent, very gung-ho is the word we used to use. You know, they're very intense and good. They were very talented people, and so what's not to like?
Pleasure to be around, huh?
Yes.
Okay. When and why did you leave the church?
Well, that was after I came to Los Angeles and did the briefing course and became a Class 6 auditor. And by 75, 78, I worked in a mission as a Class 6 auditor and did that. That was difficult in that it's low pay, and it's not like working in a regular job, and that tends to make you have a somewhat bad attitude toward the organization, not the subject, but the organization. The way they treat their staff is not good. Then in 1982, that's the first big problem. Well, second big problem. When they started the Sea Org in '68, and they started the finance police in around '79, '80, that got to be very difficult. That's another thing. It all had to do with organization, nothing to do with technology. It was people who were trying to run it as a, I don't know, more than a business, more like a mob. And so that didn't set well. And I had to get out because as far as being an auditor, I couldn't afford it anymore. I ran through all my savings. I had to go get a real job. And then in '82, that was the Sea Org tried to take over all the mission holders, and the mission holder that I worked for was one of them that had to leave the field. And, it was a sad time, very very sad.
Okay. Did you get to see Ron Hubbard?
No, I've never met Ron. Quentin and Diana came through our mission one time, and they were on a little tour, and I got to meet them, and I thought Quentin was terribly sweet. Diana was a bit of a princess.